Okay, everyone, this wasn't exactly how I planned to do things. I am recording this video and we'll upload it later to YouTube. I had several things go on this week. I had some last minute medical appointments, and yes, I have dogs. Let me just shut that. Okay, sorry about that. Welcome to my sewing room. Now, for those of you who do not know me, as I am posting this on my business page, if, that is a big if Facebook will let me, they wouldn't let me go live. I don't understand half of these restrictions. I don't have time to deal with it and fight them or anything like that. I just don't have enough energy for them. We have a love-hate relationship as it is. And I only stick around to keep in touch with my people, my puppy families. Again, back to introducing myself to those of you that don't know me. My name is Tina Law. I am the owner-operator of Lawpdoodle Canine Manor in West Virginia. And we have been breeding and providing wonderful pets to families for 16 years and 7 months, to be exact. Our first litter was born on January 6, 2008, and the rest is history. As many know, at least those of certainly my friends that are in the business, the last couple of years have been rough, especially since post-COVID. During COVID, everybody wanted a puppy, and they went anywhere and everywhere to get it, or to get one. For me, I still maintained a very long list with deposits. I would say probably on average 50, 60 people at any given time. And again, that's with deposits, okay? And I'll explain to you why I'm emphasizing that in a bit. Anyway, a lot of those people had chosen to skip over earlier litters. And then when everybody got locked down, everybody came out. And yes, our puppies were going out the door as fast as they were ready, because people were ready to be home with a puppy. Then, of course, the market got saturated. I truly believe that, where whether it was just wannabe breeders coming into the scene and trying to take advantage of it. I saw some very distressing things happening online too. One, and I saw this more than once, where some breeders that were already in business for who knows how long, and they would have already assigned, or the family would have already picked their puppy. And this person or this family would post in one of the groups that I've followed for years on Facebook, dog-related groups or breeding groups or breed-related groups. And they would be, I could practically hear them crying through the computer. Keep in mind, they may never have met this puppy, because for years, our puppies are all over the United States. The farthest one, we had a puppy go to Hungary one time. That one, it was fairly easy because it actually flew over with the owner. And then we did have one go to Spain a few years ago. Unfortunately, I can't repeat that process again because, you have to jump through so many loops and deal with Ohio State and all kinds of stuff. So it was just, it was crazy. Or USDA, I don't know. But it was many years ago. And although I absolutely love the family and we are still in touch, I believe they did finally find another Sheepa Doodle within Spain, because at the time I think they had the only Sheepa Doodle in Spain, and that had come from us. But we have kept in touch over the years, and but I did tell her that there's no way. I couldn't go through that whole thing again. All right, so on to another subject. The market for puppies, pet, otherwise, is pretty much all but non-existent. I was in the process of trying to slow down. Actually, to be honest with you, I wanted to slow down back in 2017. And then, or I was starting to think about it. And then my husband, unfortunately, got laid off from his longtime job, 34 years, as an engineer with Hewlett-Packard. He, and along with a number, thousands of others. Um, and anyway, that's water under the bridge at this point, but it did leave us in a bind, since they only gave us 3 months, 3 lousy months of severance. And however, my business at that point had been, let's see, 2017. I started in 2008. What was it, 9 years old at the time? I guess, yeah, it would have been 9 years. This old brain doesn't calculate very well on our own anymore. Anyhow, the business was doing well enough that it really did carry us through those first few years. He's working part-time, but for a minuscule amount of what he had. Timing, could have been worse. Both kids were out of the house. Anyway, to move on forward, we have survived all of that. And God provided. He knew when I started this business back in 2008, and even though it was just for a little bit of extra here and there and to help the kids through college, that my husband would lose his job in 2017. God knows all. So he prepared us, and my business ended up being a safety net during those trying times. So we praise him for that. And anyhow, moving forward, COVID came along, as I mentioned. But post-COVID, as many have heard on the news and things like that, some people chose to stay at home. They want to stay at home and whether work at home or not work at all and just collect from the government. Who knows what's going on? But the workforce is definitely a lot different right now. Many employers can't even find people to work. And it's a sad state of affairs, really. And I'm not going to get into anything further than that, but it's just what I have observed. Obviously, we all know that the economy is really tough right now. Everything, the inflation just like skyrocketed well beyond any salaries or anything like that. So for those of us that are just simple middle class, very happy to be, have all we need, never need more. Sometimes we get more than we should, but just paying the bills is a blessing, and I'm okay with that. I don't know about you, but I'm okay with that. And yet now it's tough. The middle class have been left behind, essentially. So, I don't really want to get off on a tangent here right now. But people ask me all the time, well, why is the dog business so slow? Well, those were a couple of examples. The biggest thing I have seen negatively influence, which is why I wanted to do a live video for you all, is the fact, that scammers have taken over the internet. When I started my business in 2008, by spring of 2008, after my first litter was born, I had my first website. I've always built my own website. I've had 3 of them. And the reason I had to give up the other 2 is because technology kind of leaves you behind, and I lost access to one as a result of the developer going AWOL. Now I have Wix. I don't necessarily have the patience to really get into the nitty gritty like I did almost 17 years ago, but I do my best. I know I could probably hire out to have better SEO and all that kind of stuff, but honestly, at this stage, it's really not an investment I want to make. But it's not necessarily something that has influenced me negatively as far as visibility. Maybe not. But because I see I'll Google people that sell Sheepa Doodles or doodles in general, and they may pop up on the first page, but when I go to their website, they're struggling as well, and they're also sitting on older puppies. We are very, very fortunate. I have seen some desperate calls from people on the internet or on social media where, they've apparently got the entire litter in their house. And as they become much older, you've got a lot of puppies, a lot of poop, a lot of mess in your house. We started in our family room downstairs before I transitioned what used to be my quilting studio into our nursery. And no matter how much I cleaned throughout the day downstairs, it still permeated up through. Doors closed, what have you. These people are losing their minds. So I am also grateful that when my husband and I started this, we planned it out. We built a wonderful kennel. It's right behind me. You can't see the kennel itself, but what you see out that window are all the dog yards. I would have loved to have actually gone out and sat on my pool porch, my pool deck, and done a video, or I was planning on doing live with the dogs in the background, but honestly, it is so hot out there. The air-conditioned kennel is their preferred place, so I can't say that I blame them. Now, what we have coming up, first of all, I don't have any little puppies. We haven't bred for a new litter in several months, and understandably so, because of the fact that we saw the sales. I got through a lot of the early stages of the slowing sales, but this last one didn't work out. Our one litter of Sheepa Doodles did finally all get placed. However, from the January litters, January 7th, I had a beautiful, I mean, stunningly gorgeous, that 10 years ago would have flown out the door because of the way they were marked and colored. But standard poodles, AKC, they actually go back from some of our earlier lines of full-blooded AKC standard poodles. So we have a lot of history in their pedigree. And anyhow, from what I understand, even especially the standard poodles is a real slow market right now with regard to puppies. And don't even get into it with me as far as, okay, I breed doodles. I have. And I have a lot of families that have been happy with their doodles. Look at the TV. You see a commercial and you know it's a doodle that's part of that commercial. Okay, so it's part of the world of canines now. So the purists need to get over themselves. That's all I got to say. I get it, but they can have their opinion. I can have mine and leave my life alone and what I choose to do, because I've got a lot of happy families out there. From over the years, I've made a lot of friends. We've had numerous families come back to us. It's, I've been, I found so much joy in the people, the relationships, the animals. And of course, animals was always my first love when I was a child. So it was only a natural business to go into, if you will. And yes, I said business. Okay. People, there's people out there that say, oh, if you're in it to make money, then you're a puppy mill, or you're this, or you're that, or whatever. Just, again, get over yourselves. I've grown thick skin over the last number of years, because it's people, it's not even worth dealing with. You see it in the politics. I mean, you just can't talk sense. And I do believe there's a difference between a left brain and a right brain, because whichever one I have, I don't understand how the other people think. So, okay, we'll leave it at that. But, we do genetic testing, and we back our puppies with a binding sales agreement, health guarantee. We are not scammers, even though there is this really silly group. If you want to search it out, I watch it to amuse myself, honestly. And it is on Facebook. It's open. You can join it, I think, without actually answering questions. So it's an open group. But if you have an opinion that goes against one of the people that post regularly, they may block your comment. They're not very fair, but there are a couple of people on there that love to post just to rile everybody up. We know that exists widespread throughout social media, and they say, if you breed doodles, you're a scammer. It's called Bad Breeders and Scammers List or something like that, and you can search it out on Facebook. And then they'll say, it's just such outrageous stuff. If you collect deposits, God forbid, you're a scammer. Don't do that. Don't pay a deposit. Make sure you go out and see that puppy first. It's all this stuff. And people that have known me for many years know that we have people out here. I have a meet and greet building. That's where people come to pick up their puppies. We've done videos over the years. So you see the environment from where the puppies are living while we're raising them. I share pictures of our kennel yards on our farm and everything else with all of the dogs. And so, we've never hidden anything. What we do, though, is we protect ourselves. And that is if somebody just emails me or contacts me and says, I just want to come out and see your place. I just want to come out and see your dogs. I want to come out and see your puppies. We had to stop the brakes there. Okay. And the majority of ethical breeders that care for the health and welfare of their families, but also their animals, know that that is not a safe option to do these days. It's not a safe world, bottom line, and we do have to look out for ourselves. So if I say you can't just come out and look see, it's because I have to protect me also, and my family, and my home, and my own animals. And we also know that viruses run prevalent and people can just carry it in. So we have to be very cautious and careful. None of my puppies are allowed to be picked up or viewed until they've at least had their first set of vaccines. So, and fortunately, it's not been an issue for us there. Again, before the way of marketing and the scam accusers and the scammers themselves changed the whole environment, I guess, if you will, of marketing puppies online. It's become even tougher. So, economy, post-COVID, where everybody had them, and some people cleaned out the shelters, from what I understand. But then, of course, when they had to go back to work, they took them back. Well, I don't deal with those kind of people, all right? So I'm not adding to the problem. I never added to the problem before. All of our puppies were placed very carefully. We developed a good rapport with all of our families prior to them picking up a puppy from us, because usually they were on our list for months, if not a couple of years. So we knew each other well. I hope this video doesn't go too long to where YouTube won't let me post it, but I can also do a part 2 if I need to. So I'll just carefully watch the clock there and maybe break it up, but I'll try to post both videos together or in separate posts. The Facebook business pages are really weird. They won't let me post a video along with photos in one post. So I don't know if they're going to let me post 2 videos in one post. Anyway, that's another thing. So here's where we are at. We have taken a long extended break, the longest that we have ever taken. It was necessary for me for 2 reasons. Back in April, I did have an injury that to my back. And I actually just finally saw a neurosurgeon this week. And I have to wear a brace for 6 weeks. And this happened in April, but I do have a fracture. It is going to heal, and I'm doing so much better than I was a few weeks ago. So I'm grateful for that. But right now I'm not supposed to be lifting or bending over, extreme, things like that. I have to limit certain activities to allow that fracture to heal. And I'm not getting any younger. I mean, I was in my mid-40s when we started this business, and I am now 62. So, but I feel like I'm doing okay for my age, other than my back problems, and that's nothing new to a lot of people. And of course, the older we get, the slower we heal. But I'm trying to be patient. So that is one reason we've kind of suspended things for a little bit. And in addition to the state of the economy and sales, and we're just going to kind of bide our way through the year. I'm not quitting. I just want to clarify that, but I'm also not going back to the level where we were before. We are narrowing our program down to Sheepa Doodles only. Great Mountainese Doodles were great. They were doing well. People that have them love them. They're beautiful dogs. But with being a newer, lesser known breed, with the challenges of the market as it is, it's just not what I want to do anymore. I had already decided about 3 or 4 years ago that I was going to back out of pure doodles. For the main reason because the breeder who I had worked with from day one, getting my very first Pyrenees, Great Pyrenees, had passed away suddenly. And I just decided that, because I didn't want to go and find another breeder and develop another relationship, that was just my sign that I was going to work that part of my business out. So we have two Doodles. No, yes, two F1B Doodles still looking for their homes. Both of them are females. They are beautiful, and you can ask me about them. You can text me for more information at 301-820-2272. Or you can email me at Lawpdoodle Canine Manor. That's LAWPDOODLE K9 Manor, MANOR, at P as in Paul, M as in me, PM dot me, M-E. I think that was it. It's my proton. It's on my website. Go to my website, lawpadoodlecaninemanor.com, or Sheepa Doodles with an S at the end.com. All right. I'm at 21 minutes. I think I'm going to break this and come right back. So this is part one.